This video is a training video for people who want to help with the Pi Day calculation here at Whatcom Community College. And so this is how to be a calculator. Right? We're going to do everything by hand, and I need to teach you how I want you to divide longhand. So I'm going to do an example here. I want to divide 17 into this decimal here. And what we're going to do, and it's pencil. I was going to do this in pencil, but I think for this case we'll do it in pen just to make it um, easier to read. First of all, I need to make a multiplication table. And we're doing everything by hand here. And I want to make a multiplication. 1 times 17 will be 17. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So if you're going to be a calculator, before doing any division, you need to make sure you have a correct multiplication table. And I'm going to make this multiplication table not by multiplying, but by adding. In fact, I'm going to do all my dividing just by subtracting. Okay? And so 17 plus 17 is 34. And if I add 17 to 34, this would be what, 11, carry the 1, 3, 4, 5, 51, add 17 onto that. So 7, that's an 8, 68, add 7 onto this. That's 15, carry the 1, 6, 7, 8. So 85, add 17 onto that. That's 12, carry the 1, 8, 9, 10. Add 17 onto that. Add 17 onto that. What do we got? 16, carry the 1, 2, 3. 131, add 17 onto that. That's 13, carry the 1, 3, 4, 5. And add 17 onto that. We get a 0, carry the 1, 6, 7, 1. And sure enough, as my double check is that when I got to 10, it clearly is just 17 times 10, right? Because there's a 17 was an extra 0. So that's my check. Now, another thing that's going to happen when you're a calculator is there's always going to be someone else doing the same calculation you're doing. We do all the calculations twice, and then you will double check with that other person to see that you get the same answer. If you don't, then you got to figure out what went wrong, maybe do the problem again, right? So you're going to double check your times table with that person before you start dividing, okay? So now, the way we divide is, first of all, stay in the grid. Notice how I stayed in the grid here. I'm going to stay in the grid here. In order to keep things organized for all the different processes that we have to do as we're doing this calculation, we want things organized and neat, able to be read. So stay within the grid. Let it keep you organized. Okay. So here we go. What we do is we say, how many times does 17 go into 0? It doesn't. How many times does 17 go into 1? It doesn't. How many times does 17 go into 12? It doesn't. How many times does 17 to go into 123? So I come over here. I've finally got a number that's bigger than 17. 123, I look down here. 123 is somewhere between 119 and 136. So I'm going to take the 119. It goes in 7 times, so I put a 7 there, and then 7 times 117. Well, rather than doing that multiplication, I've already got it done. I can just write down the 119. So that multiplication work has already been done. Now I just need to subtract, okay? I need to subtract. And so I'm going to have to borrow from the 2. Anyway, 13 minus 9 is 4. There was 1 borrowed, so anyway, 4. Now you bring down the 4. How many times does 17 go into 44? You're just looking here for the biggest number that's still less than 44. There it is, 34. So that was 2 times. I put a 34 here. Subtract, that's a 10. Bring down the next number, 5. 105, I'm seeing 102 right there, so put a 6 there, and a 102. And subtract, 3. 36. 36, there's a 34. 2. 2, bring it down, 27. 27 is even smaller, so that's a 17 right here. 10, bring down the 8. 108, I see a 102 with a 6, right? By being able to just quickly look at this chart, it speeds things up immensely. And then it's just a matter of accurately subtracting. I've taken care of the multiplying, and I just need to accurately subtract. 6 here, 6, bring down the 9. Um, 69, there's a 68 there, so let's put a 4 right here. 68, there's a 1. Now, one of the things that's happening is I'm off the page from what you can see. I'm getting close to the bottom of the page here. I'm going to just slide this right back up to here and continue on. Put a 0 right here. 17 goes into 10, 0 times. And I can just bring down the next one. 101. Ooh, not 102. That must be 5 here at 85. And subtract. Sometimes the subtracting, you got to do the borrowing. One thing I noticed was that the 102 was off by just 1 from my 101. So this subtraction should be a 16 right here. And it is. If you borrow, make that a 9. 11 minus 5 is 6, and the 9 minus 8 is 1, so 16, right? Anyway, so now this is the process. And notice how I'm keeping things lined up, writing in my boxes, staying within the grid. And I move this over to the next person. They can just line it up and see exactly what spot everything is in. This is the way we want you to divide. We will be dividing by lots of different odd numbers, 3, 5, 7, actually all the odd numbers until we decide to stop. And each time we're going to make a multiplication table, and then we're going to use that to do this long division. And we can just continue going. We're going to be doing all our calculations out to about 30. I think we're going to do 40 decimal places, hoping to get 30 accurate ones by the time we're done. So there you go. That's what's expected for calculators in this Pi Day activity at Whatcom Community College.